from the Ticat Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Morreale and Hitch podcast 2023 edition. I'm Mike Morreale. That's Rob Hitchcock. I think Butko's here. Butko wasn't here last week. Butko missed last week. That was bad times for Butko. Right?
Yeah, very bad.
But he's apologized to us. He sent us both a gift certificate to the OCS, and now we're moving on to bigger and better things. But Robbie, how was your weekend? By long weekend.
Long weekend, yes. Still on it because offices in Arizona is
July 4th holiday for you.
So it's a holiday, so it's been good. Oh, it's nice and quiet now. What was that? Your air conditioner in there, Mike?
I don't know. I'm just sitting in my office.
Did that not just, Bucko, did that not just be like, I don't know, to me that was really nice.
Well, listen, I got in trouble because I didn't use this special handy-dandy microphone. Now I'm using the microphone, and now there's more problems.
Well, you sound better.
There you go.
Better. But anyways, to get back on Butko, I told you I had a good buddy of mine, Andrew Clarkey. He listens all the time, right? He
got nothing else to do, eh?
And he says you got to rip on him. Because he missed,
dude.
So we found out he slept in. We had a 9:00 show. He's, if you noticed in the last couple of years, he's always piped in on 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, like later on.
To set up. Never once the early morning.
Do you have anything to say for yourself there, Budko? Like seriously, I know you slept in, but you still got your lampshade. Your yellow shade is at the back.
No,
the organ's still there. So what happened?
It's not like you got up and combed your hair or anything, right? There was, you took your pillow, you just rubbed it on the top of your head. Don't worry, we don't expect a lot from you. We don't expect you to come here looking amazing. We don't expect your room to be clean. We certainly don't expect this show to go well at all. No, expectations are very low. You can't even pass our expectations, which are none.
It's low,
quite frankly.
No,
there's zero expectations.
None. There's none.
No.
Oh, I don't know what you have to say. I know sleeping in's one thing, but you know what? Our guest was pretty upset.
Yes.
Joanne Armour
you don't
was
want
sitting
him
there
upset.
for 15 minutes.
Oh.
Did you know, Botko, that when he was 18 years old until he was 36, there's always been one fight every day?
Guess what? He hasn't had a fight yet this year. Guess what? Guess what's coming? Guess what's coming?
And he's coming in to do the... I think when's he coming in? I think in October. I think he's coming in. So he's going to be the alumni of distinction, and maybe we'll get the gloves out and the big pillow gloves. I don't think you would last.
Oh my God!
I think he would fake a shot to you and you'd
go down. Just crumble. I recommend you crumble instantly. Hand out a few gift cards, like I said.
When you're faced with a bear, you just go into a.
Just pretend they're Just go limp.
So we're gonna forgive you for the one time only because it was a little bit embarrassing for our couple of our fans too. But they actually liked it. But they said you got to rip you. Clarky said we got to rip you. We did enough. I think we don't want to make it about you.
He gave us the real excuse. We're gonna let it go, Rob. We're gonna let it go. It's between us. It's between us. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep.
Speaking was there
a little bit too much involved?
I don't know. I just don't even want to. I don't even want to ask.
Okay.
The poor kid. Poor kid. I mean, if you can't get up at 9 a.m, you got bigger problems. So we can't solve everything, Rob. We can't solve the world's problems.
No, we can't.
So nobody lost this weekend. Ticats, no loss.
Nope.
Everything was good.
Not much to talk about.
Not much to talk about on the field.
Except the Argos.
3-0,
Well, I don't know. Did you watch it yesterday?
Well, I was told. I didn't watch it. I got a note from my buddy.
I watched it. And the first half was a bit... BC went down, scored 7-0. I thought, okay, it's just, they're good.
Yep.
BC looks good. Their D looks good. And all of a sudden, 6 picks for Toronto. 6. Safety had 3 picks, and he had a 6 total. A punt return for a touchdown, interception for a touchdown.
What?
Usually
I get up, the first thing I do is I put on Sports Center and I watch the highlight. I didn't get a chance today. Wow.
Well, you would have saw Vernon Adams throw for 6, and
6
I said to
picks.
myself, 6 picks, and they lost like 45-34. But it wasn't close like that. I mean, if Toronto didn't score, on special teams and on defense, it would have been a lot closer. And Kelly looked good. You know, remember Jim?
Yeah,
for the Buffalo Bills. So Jim was there. I don't know. I don't know if it's his.
It's his nephew.
Grandson?
Nephew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I would say grandson because he looks old.
Oh, he looks old.
I think he had a stroke.
He's been sick. He's suffered, I think, with
something with the throat.
To his jaw. I think cancer in his jaw or his throat or his mouth. No.
But he looked good. He had a hat on yesterday. They showed him in the crowd. He was two people within about 4,000 that were at the game. The game was horrible.
So it must have been in Toronto.
Oh, it was in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, they don't sell tickets on the, I guess it would be kind of the north end.
The non-TV side, I think.
Non-TV side. They got a TV, got to put the cameras on the other side. Cause
they just do those little cutouts like they did for the NBA bubble.
It's embarrassing. Oh, God. They're like the other side against behind the benches. It was decent. I bet you there was no more than 8,000, 7,000. And half of those were players' giveaway tickets anyway. It's horrible. You figure it's going to be a
nice night, too.
Beautiful night. It turned out gorgeous, and it's a holiday. Why don't people go?
I don't know. You know that here in Hamilton, we're not supposed to care, right? We're not supposed to care. Well, as long as people come out.
I care for the league.
I know.
Because when I have colleagues that watch in the U.S. and Arizona, they say, oh, yeah, I picked up that game. You know, the Ticats are playing or the Argos are playing. Oh, you guys get like high school, eh? Like there's like 6,000-7,000 people. I'm like, it's not everywhere. It's just Toronto. It's nowhere else. It's
just the biggest city in the country. Just the city with the most people.
And I keep like defending Toronto, and I keep saying like, okay, now they've got a product. It doesn't matter if they go 10-0. They're still gonna have 8,000 at a game. It's sad. It's very, very sad.
Well, I go back to the days where I was playing down there. We were winning the Grey Cup with Doug Flutie, and believe me, it was a struggle then, man. It was a struggle then.
Of course, when I went down to play against you, and even when we went down to play the Argos, we had one game at Labor Day, and it was in Toronto. I don't know if you remember that. It was the one time it wasn't in Hamilton, and there was 35,000 people there. But even when we played, like they played at the Rogers Centre, or the Sky Dome we used to call it, but the bottom bowl, it was spread out a bit, but there was still, it still looked like 25,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. Oh, and your friend, you didn't see this, they got interviewed. So Damon Allen.
I saw him last week in Edmonton.
Oh, he had these beautiful. You should have seen these shoes on. Oh, knee deep. Anyways, he's and your friend, and I love him to death, Mookie Mitchell.
Oh, Mookie's the best,
isn't he?
Mookie is a character.
He hasn't changed a bit.
Not a bit.
He looks identical. So him and Da are up on the all-time list for the Argos.
And rightfully so.
Those guys. Oh,
12,000
yards. 12,000 yards passing in receiving yards. And I'll never forget when the story that you used to say, and he told me this when he was at your place. Remember we were at your house, that place you had on.
In Burlington.
Yeah, Burlington. And I'll never forget it. It's like, when you play the game, you don't when you see other guys from the other teams, you don't really think about them looking at you as a good player like that. Yeah. Mookie looked at me, and I didn't know this until he told me. He goes, "Man, we used to be in our meeting rooms," and he said, "We didn't want to catch the ball over.
Nobody wanted to get hit.
We were going to get hit." And the way he tells the story. Oh, I said, really? Seriously? And I know if you don't come across you're going to get hit. But just by him, like such an elite player, to say that we used to game plan, none of us wanted to go across the middle. I said, well, I'm going to get
too
hit.
Bad. Too bad. Well, the backstory is for those that don't know. When I was playing in Toronto, which would have been my second go round, which was I think 01, 02, 03, Mookie lived with me in Burlington. Okay. This guy. And I think, do we have a guest today?
Yeah.
Well, so this guest, because I know who the guest is, certainly knows our fellow pal Mookie and what kind of character he is. So Mookie had the best time of his life in my house. Didn't have to worry about a damn thing. Plus, at that time, I was, all the filthy McNasties were up and running. There was one down the street, and we spent every night there. And he got behind the bar, and it was just an absolute.
Never paid rent.
Never paid a dime. Oh, no.
Tell the boys what they did to you and what they did with your furniture.
Well, yeah, I had the boys over, including my good friend Mike O'Shea. and a bunch of the other guys from the Argos at the time came to my house. A nice house in Aldershot. And, next thing you know, we're having a good time playing cards, whatever. And, O'Shea comes downstairs, first of all, wearing, at that time, my wife's one-piece bathing suit and bra and underwear, whatever they went through, all the drawers, did whatever they wanted to do. I got so frustrated with these guys. We were playing cards for hours. The one guy took a leak at the table. He was so bombed, he took a leak at my house. So that's it. I had enough. I was like, you guys are dead to me. I'm going to bed. Worst mistake of my life. When I woke up, my whole house was emptied. Every chair, TV, couch, table, credenza, everything was on the front lawn. And I went, what? I opened the door, and they honk and take off. And then it starts to rain. And my whole house is on my front lawn. Oh, I was pissed.
Neighbors thought it was a free-for-all.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was like, whatever. Here's a yard sale. Go ahead. Take this, take that, whatever you want. Oh, you know what? I'm only mad because I didn't think of it. I wish that was me, and I would have done that to those guys.
Yeah.
The joy of the game.
Funniest stories. That was a funny story.
The joy of the game. Butko, speaking of that, is there a friend on? Not on, eh?
Not yet.
I heard. Butko, tell him you tried this guest. We won't say his name until he comes on, but I guess they tried his audio and stuff.
Yeah.
Butko, tell him how he came onto the show about half an hour ago.
He was shirtless.
Shirtless.
In the test.
Okay, first of all, if you see this guy, he should always wear a shirt, probably a turtleneck.
Always.
Yes, always.
I don't think he's worked out a day.
Not a chance,
honestly.
ever.
Not a chance. No, I don't think so.
No, I can't wait to ask him about that. And hope to God he doesn't come on with his shirt off when this show starts.
He won't. He would know better to do
For his own self-respect, he's got to not. He's got to put a shirt. There's got to be a shirt rule for him.
One hell of a player, though.
Oh, my God. Great player.
Yeah.
Great player.
Built like a bag of milk, but he
Absolutely.
But he could play.
Didn't spend a long time in Hamilton, but spent a long time in the CFL. Repeated All-Star, Grey Cup champion. Good dude. Good dude.
Well, before he comes on, I think he's coming on in a couple of minutes, 9:15 or so. But anyways, we've got to talk a little bit more about the league and the games this weekend. But did you? So Winnipeg 3-1, BC 3-1. I think Saskatchewan's 2-1. 1-2 is Calgary, and then 0-3 is Edmonton. Poor Edmonton.
Oh my God.
Poor Edmonton. Poor Hamilton. But I tell you, Ottawa is in Hamilton this Saturday coming. They're a good team.
Oh yeah, Ottawa's got a decent team. Now they're still figuring out their QB situation, but they seem to be. They won, right? Yeah. Thankfully, the Ticat situation is not nearly as bad as what's happening in Edmonton. What's happening in Edmonton is just a colossal mess.
What's his name is the GM and coach there?
Oh, Jones.
Jones. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he's the right fit. He's back there. He was there, then gone, then back. He went to high school, came back or something. He just seems like he would not be a good. I would not want to play for that.
He's not a friendly guy.
No, he's not.
Not a friendly guy. And you got to win. If those guys need to win, right? Because if winning it takes care of a lot of the BS. But if you're losing, oh boy.
I shouldn't say that because I don't know him, right?
Yes,
but
you said it already.
Yeah, I know.
So
but still,
whatever.
He's not a player's coach like O and O'Shea and Coach O, and they're not guys that you want to go to the field with and play for, because these guys have done it. I don't know. I just don't see him to bring an organization to bring him back. Like he was there forever. Then now I think he's a GM or president.
He's both now. Yeah, I think he's got every title there.
Oh wow.
Butko, what are we gonna do? He's here.
Yep.
Our friend is here.
Yes.
All right, Rob, do you want to make the introduction? This is a fellow.
You played. I can't. I laugh at him.
I don't think he deserves like a big long intro.
No.
I think we just introduce the guy. No one will know who he is because they're all Ticat fans. And
the Cat's Claws will know him.
The Cat's Claws will know him. We certainly know him. He is, I would say the opposite of a man with a great physique. but he sure was one hell of a football player and one hell of a teammate. Let's bring on our friend, Adrion Smith.
Oh, there.
Look at this guy.
Oh,
look at the fake background. That's not even your house. That's not even your house. That's a fake background.
This is an MTV crib. It's not MTV crib, dude.
Look at the shirt. Played 1 year. Look at the shirt.
Oh yeah. We lost him already.
He's got bad internet. That's what I hear.
Butko, you remember when American Idol went, during COVID, and they had to send all the guests their proper microphone and Wi-Fi setup? Oh, here he is. Yeah. You paid your bill.
Here he is again. You paid your bill.
Hold on a second.
Where'd you get the shirt from 1994, first of all?
Oh, bad. This is bad.
Wow.
Looks like he's working
Who's
out.
that?
My son.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
that's right.
My God, we forgot about
Keandre, right?
That's right.
Keandre.
Wow.
Oh, this is bad.
You are. Guess what? You've done your research. You've done your research.
Oh yeah, buddy.
As you know, we don't do any research on the
Zero
show,
research.
You know that.
Let's get going here because part of this podcast is on YouTube and about 6 people watch. The other part goes on some sort of platform that everybody else can listen to. So as long as we got your voice, Adrian, we're good.
Yep.
How you been, fella?
Cool.
How you been?
All is well. How about you guys?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been good. We had a little, we talked about you without revealing who you were before you came on. And the best way for us to... Oh, for God's sake. What did we say?
Yeah.
The truth?
What did you say?
The truth.
Well, that you had a body like a bag of milk. And we were surprised you lasted more than one game in the league.
Fair.
That's fair.
I was following the pinball model.
Exactly. Or the Andrew Grigg model. We had one on our team too. That's exactly it. But listen, you and I were teammates for a long time. We had a hell of a lot of fun. We won a lot of games. You're a repeated all-star in the league. You won all these great cups. You're looking good. You got into broadcasting when things were done. You got a son that now plays in the CFL. Man, a lot of stuff has happened to you. Why don't you give us a little once-over on what's going on in your life right now?
Well, once over. As you said, I have a son that's in the league right now, which is pretty cool. I have a 26-year-old daughter who is doing her own thing, which is pretty cool. And something I don't want to dig. But you're gonna read between the lines. You will read between the lines. I have an 11-year-old daughter who is in competitive swim.
Oh, see? I can give you some tips from back in the day. I can give you some tips.
It might be with her.
She's doing very well. She's like I said, 11 years old, and just everyday things: working, wife, kids, family. Just doing the run-of-the-mill type of thing. Got out of coaching when my son got through, so here I am now.
Are you still in? Last time I saw you, I think it was like Kitchener at some. It was like an insurance, or something. I think that had to have been 15 years ago, maybe. Eh? Yeah. It had to have been something like that, but you're not doing that. What do you do? Well, you look good because you do have a fake background.
I'm in law enforcement now. I'm in correction.
Really? Eh?
That's why he showed up. Hey, that's why he showed up with his shirt off at the beginning.
Yeah, okay. Listen, we heard you came. First of all, there's a shirt rule for you, and there always has been. Okay? You know that. You know there's a shirt rule for you. That's this is not. You're not Joe Montford, right? We know this.
Listen, I did the best with what God gave me.
you shot way above your weight, way above. Now this
He
is
didn't give
funny
you
because
much.
this is the weird twist of fate that life is. I played, through my career, I was known as Meat. You played, you were known as Pee-wee. So this is like a weird twist of fate, but sometimes this shit happens. You just got to roll with it.
Exactly.
Pee-wee.
Oh,
hey, you know who I see a lot? Marcelo Simmons.
How's CeeLo doing? He's in corrections too, no?
Yes, he's incorrect. He does escort officers, prison escort officer. So yeah, he comes
Escorts.
to Ryan
It's
and
like,
picks people up and takes
is
them
that
to
the
court.
same thing that Donnie Wilson did after the game? He used to.
Hey, I saw Donnie Wilson last year. Yeah, he can't remember he got inducted into the Hall of
That's
Fame.
right. That's right.
Right. So I was at the game because they were playing the Ticat that game. It was an Argo game, and then he actually came over to the house and we hung out for a little bit. So yeah, I
Oh,
did.
Donnie was a good dude. He was a hell of a lot of fun.
Man, this still the same.
Really,
Nothing
still don't
changed.
smile.
Still the same. Every same dumb smile, same dumb laugh. Looks the same too, and he's like 63 years old, something like that. He's still
What a good dude. What a good
Hey,
dude.
speaking about who's looking the same, Pee Wee, is Mookie Mitchell. He was on last night, so him and DA got on to the Argos not Hall of Fame, but the
Wall of
all-time
Famer,
team,
yep.
and whatever they call it. But Mookie looks. I was just telling Mead earlier, he looks just the same and talks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's classic.
I
Him and DA
a
had.
few years ago also, he came in town, and yeah, exactly the
Yeah.
same. He did exactly the same. Yeah.
Where are you living?
Great.
Oh yeah.
Where are you living? Where are you living right now? Where are you
Who?
living? You.
Richmond Hill.
Okay.
Richmond Hill.
They don't pay the internet out there?
I think it might be where you at? Lancaster.
Oh no, wait, dude! I've moved 15 times since then.
Yeah.
I've changed my phone number about 35 times.
You changed your occupation like 45 times.
Oh god, yeah. Dude, you got to keep reinventing yourself. That's all you got to do.
Hitch, I think I know somebody you know also.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a real uh-oh too.
Who's that?
Joey Gentile.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know Joe. I was just with him yesterday, 2 days ago. My wife Michelle, her best friend is Lori Gentile, which is Lori's Joe's. It's her brother. So I just saw them at a birthday graduation on I guess it was 2 days ago, Sunday. We were there, but
Gotcha.
yeah, Joe. You know, so Joey's at. So Joey,
Don't tell him I said hi.
Oh, I won't. I remember you. I remember him telling me this a couple years ago that he worked with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
He did, but then he's moved on to another facility, so he's
Okay,
not.
because I think this is how it was, Meetsy. I think when he said this like 5 years ago, it's because this guy I worked with, Adrian. He said he played for the Ticats.
Yeah, it looks like crap.
Doesn't look
There's
like
no
a
way he
football
played.
player. I said, "Oh no, he played. He's a good player." Really? I said, "Oh yeah, you should look him up." So, anyways, he did, and oh yeah. So I know I don't hang out with Joey. I hang out with Lori's husband Anthony. But anyways, small world, man.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
small world.
So Pee Wee, let's get your background a little bit here for those that don't know. You started with the Ticats, then you went to Memphis, and then came back for your long run in Toronto. So number one, coming to the Ticats, what the heck was that like? And then what was it like going to Memphis? Because that's, we all remember what that expansion disaster fiasco. It was fun as hell. Like, we used to roll to town, get paid American per diem, go nuts and do all our stuff. But what was that first year like in Hamilton, and then, American expansion, the whole rest of the thing?
So graduated university, and I had to try out with the Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns didn't work out. So get this phone call from Greg Mons.
Monzy.
RIP. And so he says, hey, we have your rights. You want to come up to Canada and play ball. And immediately I said, Canada? Don't you have igloos up there? I legit said that. Like, I was none the wiser. He said, no, there's no igloos, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you come up and whatever, we'll see what happens. So came up to to Hamilton, obviously, and came up with Tim Cofield.
Oh,
so
beast.
Tim Cofield was living in Kansas City, and he played for the Chiefs for a few years, and he actually got to know my father. Him and my dad saw each other at the gym. I didn't go to the gym. Him and my father saw each other.
Shocking.
Make that clear.
Shocking.
Anyway, we made a connection, so we came to Hamilton together. So went to Hamilton, played that whole year. Everything was great. Had a good time, blah, blah, blah. So then Memphis had the U.S. expansion. Talked about U.S. expansion. So Mons went to Memphis as the general manager. So he took a bunch of Ticat guys with him to Memphis. They actually traded me. Was that the trade? No, that wasn't traded. I traded for Calvillo. I think that was the year after.
Yeah, there's a year after. But so DA went with you too, right?
So DA was in Edmonton at the time.
Right.
So DA came to Memphis. Eddie Brown came to Memphis. Cofield came to Memphis. A couple of other guys came to Memphis. Terry Wright came to Memphis. So we had a great time in Memphis. But here's the thing: we were really carved out of what you all were thinking about us, because there was no Canadian
That's right.
television broadcast of things that were going on. So we were totally secluded from anything that happened in Canada. All we had to concentrate on was Memphis. And I don't think I watched a CFL game until like we came on a road trip up there, and then like you have a CFL weekend, right? And you saw a Saturday Sunday game or a Friday Saturday game. We were totally excluded from anything broadcast, no news, no network, no nothing. So we're just down there idle on our own. And it was for us, the first few games were really, really good. But then the Americans, they hated the rules.
Yeah.
Our field sucked.
Your field was that was the field. So everybody knows, if I remember this correctly, your field had the turf on the outside, like 5 yards on either side. The end zones were like 6 yards, then angled, and then flat at the back. It dipped off. It was bad.
Yeah, and there's a few times where we were threatened not to play the game because of the field, whatever. I think they had to become an agreement between both teams, like, okay, we'll just deal with it, blah, 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 blah. But they just just won the money. CFL just won the money.
That's all they want, money grab.
So whatever happened after that. So played there, had a great year there. And then Mons, again, comes to Toronto in 96. So he brings all those Memphis guys to Toronto. And that started my run in Toronto the next 10 years.
Interesting. Wow. So your first introduction to Pinner wasn't until, well, I guess you would have played against him when you were in Hamilton in 95. But I'm saying that because for people that don't know, you and Pin were best of buds. I mean, you really tight, and I'm sure you still are. But
he's actually Keandre's godfather.
There you go. And what a good godfather to have. That's for sure. But that, for us to be guys, at that time, I was playing in Toronto when we went down. You were in Hamilton, Rob, going to the U.S. But I don't know what your experience was, Rob, going there. It was like, in some cases, like really cool. Like it was a cool experience to go into something that was completely different. It was a disaster of an experience, but it was like pulling up, landing, getting off the plane, and all of a sudden you got, all the cops lining up to escort you into town and all that. It was just like, it was big time, U.S. style football until it wasn't.
That's how the U.S. colleges are. Right. You have the marshals there. They parade you wherever you need to go. They make sure you need it. And that, I don't know if that's right, wrong, or different, good or bad, whatever your experience is. I thought it was kind of cool. I think it was kind of cool. But they did everything top notch. Now again, there wasn't nobody in the stands afterwards.
No, once college football started, see you later.
You feel like you're a somebody because you're young and you feel like you're a somebody, right? Like you're on this bus and you're going through red lights and everything. But let me just backtrack it for a second. I hope Pinball's a better godfather than I am to.
Oh my God, Rob's my daughter's godfather. He's about 5 presents still in arrears.
Yeah, but I've given her. Now she's got.
Now you just text her money.
15. I just text her money now. Just text her money.
E-transfer.
That's it, buddy.
I said, does she have e-transfer? Yeah, she's got e-transfer. You had it before you did. I said, oh, she probably did. But yeah, no. So I thought for me going down in the States, because when I was there, Vegas, I came in 95, and Vegas was only there for 1 year in 94. So I think, Mitzi, we were there. It was Shreveport, Birmingham, Memphis, of course.
San Antonio. Sacramento moved to San Antonio.
San Antonio was fun.
Baltimore was a great spot.
Baltimore was great. And Baltimore was the Montreal team that went.
Yes,
right?
essentially and Montreal that came.
And then came back. So for me, Baltimore, I think, was the best because they had 30,000 people at their games. Yeah, like Mike Pringle was there. That was the one. And Birmingham, actually, I think it was their second game. I think people just came out to see what the CFL was like, and there was 25, 30,000 people there. So when I went, at least we all went. I don't know about you guys, but it was full. The stadiums were pretty full, except Memphis wasn't that many people.
Memphis was like maybe Birmingham. They were full the first 2 or 3 or 4 weeks.
And then
Baltimore, they just have football fans.
Yeah.
I mean, even as you all know, you go to the Grey Cup every year. You still got Baltimore fans with Baltimore gear that come up to the Grey Cup. So they were just football fans. So they packed that stadium every single year.
That was a cool. Baltimore's a cool experience because you sing the national anthem and the rockets were glaring, the fireworks went off, and the bombs were, the stuff was going. You run out of the tunnel where Johnny Unitas played. You kind of that was a cool experience. And then you'd go to Shreveport, and you'd want to wear like a flak jacket and just make sure that the bulletproof vest so you can make it through the game.
That neighborhood. So Memphis's the Liberty Bowl and the Independence Bowl were dead in the hood. Both of those were dead. You're 1 block away from danger.
Oh yeah, I was like this little white kid from Stony Creek. I was like, what's going on here?
No.
Yeah.
Oh. What's so? Have you been following the Argos? Have you been following the league a little bit? Been watching?
Honestly, I catch it when I can. Life gets so busy again. All my kids were in sports heavily, so I can't sit in front of a TV on Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. If I caught it, I caught it. If I didn't, I went to a lot of Ticat games last year, and still plan on going to some games this year. But my daughter's swim schedule all over the place. You got swim meets on weekends, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I catch it on TV. I keep track, like the box score and stuff like that. But sitting down, going to stadiums, I haven't been to a game yet this year. It's just so hard with all these different schedules that you're juggling.
Give us our fans here, our 150 fans that we have. And by the way, we're talking to Adrion Smith, everybody. So, and people that don't watch this on the YouTube, they're listening to it in the cars. They don't know who it is. So we're always told, our producers always saying, just say who it is every 5 minutes or so. It's Adrion Smith, all-time Hall of Famer, the best player, blah blah blah. Anyways, what's it like to have a son that followed your footsteps? Because I have a 16-year-old who's like a 5 handicap golfer. He's a great soccer player, AA hockey player, hasn't played football, and a part of me. He's 16. I want him to play one more year just because he's a good athlete. I think he would excel. I think he would. But I'll never push him into the game. But what's it like? What's it like for your boy to follow you? Like that must be.
It's, honestly, it is a cool experience. At the end of the day, it's a cool experience. I did not want him to play football, right? Yeah. As I don't know if both of y'all know this, but I didn't start playing football till my last year in high school. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that happened is because I didn't want to do basketball conditioning. I hated.
Well, that explains a lot. That explains a lot. Now I'm piecing it all together. There's no doubt you didn't see the inside of the gym for a long time.
Baseball was my sport growing up, and so I was a really good baseball player. Then played my last year in high school and ended up getting a scholarship. Blah blah blah. So the school that I went to, there's the only school that said you can play baseball and football. So Missouri State University, so I played both. So I played football, got redshirted my first year, and then I went to play baseball. I said, no, you're not going to let you play baseball. You got a football scholarship. We don't know what you can do because you got redshirted, blah, blah, blah. So I thought about quitting football to play baseball, but I didn't want my parents to have to pay for university, right?
Interesting.
So got a citywide, played the football just because, ended up working out for me. Then my son comes into the picture. And he's a good soccer player. He's a good baseball player, fantastic baseball player. I'm not saying this because he's my son, but he's probably the best defensive center fielder I've seen.
Really?
Young growing up. He was lefty the whole 9
And he played here in Canada?
He played here in Canada. He played for Mississauga North Tigers. He actually played with Bo Naylor, who is now the catcher for the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, wow.
And then Bo Naylor's older brother, Josh Naylor, is actually a left fielder for the Cleveland Indians. And they have another brother that's up and coming. So the Naylor brothers, if you look those up, he played with them growing up. And so we had some pretty good baseball teams, right? We go travel. We went to USM Travel, went to Cooperstown, blah, blah, blah. And we probably lost like 5 games in 5 years. Like they were that good. Wow. But he grew up with me in the locker room. He came to the locker room all the time. The Argos let kids come to the locker room. They hang out. he knew Stein,
Yeah.
growing up, blah blah blah, things of that sort. He knew Mark Washington. He ran to him, people like that. So, he was always around the game, and he would always play. And I'd say, nope, you can't play till you're 13. I said, you can't play
Yeah.
till you're 13. The reason I said that, I wasn't driving him away from the game, but there was a lot of good coaching. You don't want to get hurt unnecessarily, get a concussion, at 9, 10 years old. So I was basically saving him, but I really was pushing him to baseball. If I was pushing him anywhere, it was to baseball. He was just a really good baseball player.
Nice.
He was born January 3rd, 2000. The morning of January 3rd, 2012, he comes downstairs. He says, I'm 12. I'm 13 years old. You said I could play football, and I'm 13 years old.
And that was it. So he's been thinking about it. He's been thinking about it.
He's thought about it for 5 years. Whenever I told him, you know how you brush kids off.
Yeah,
wait till you're 12. Wait till you're 13. They're going to forget about it. That morning, January 3rd, that morning, he comes downstairs. You said I could play football. I'm playing football. And then the bad part about it is football and baseball are in the same season.
Yeah.
So he had to pick one. He knew what he wanted. He was full gung-ho after that. And
it worked out.
Worked out.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
I wasn't one of those dads. You got to play football. Once you fall my footstep, I was trying to put him to baseball, but football was his calling.
Interesting. You mentioned a couple names there, and I want to just talk about a couple guys you mentioned. Steiny and Osh. You didn't mention Osh, but it popped into my head because of, obviously, we play with them. You spent a long time with those guys. Now you see them, for many years now, coaching. Like from when we played and I'm not going to say the caliber of coaching, but, the coaches we had to now the new school, did you expect that from those guys? I certainly did. Like, I knew they knew the game better than our coaches did at some point.
Osh 100%.
Yeah,
Osh,
100%. Yeah.
100% Osh. I didn't think Steiny would go that direction, even though he was always coaching.
Right.
But I saw him doing something in business or something else or whatever. But, he got led to it, and obviously he's the president of football operations and head coach. Has done great, and I'm happy for him and everything. But I definitely saw Osh. I didn't see Stein in the beginning, but Osh 100,000 million % through and through. He actually, funny thing, a lot of people don't know this. He actually asked me if I would come coach DBs.
He asked me when he first started. He's like, "Would you coach? Would you come and coach receivers?" And he goes, "We can pay you whatever." I said, "Well, how about I coach 2 positions so you can pay me more?" That's what because the one position ain't going to do it. But sometimes I kick myself because that environment would have been just amazing. But I am not built for coaching. No way am I staying there all day.
I'm the same way. I'm going to tell you another cool thing. Sorry, you asked me another cool thing, Hitch. So, obviously, I played with Osh like 9 out of my 12 years, 10 out of my 12 years, whatever, from Hamilton all the way to Toronto. Our kids, Mike and Keandre, they kind of grew up together in the locker room.
Well, they played at Guelph together, right?
Yeah, that's right. They went to birthday parties together and stuff like that, and then they went to Guelph together for a year. But that was pretty cool because they were both on the same recruiting trip there also, so it was kind of like a reconnection at that point in time. So that was pretty cool too.
And both receivers.
Both receivers. They both stay in touch with each other. They became pretty good friends at Guelph too. I don't want to tell those stories, but yeah, they.
No. We understand.
No. We understand those.
Yeah, so that was cool that we both played together, and then our both sons played together also.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Getting back to not built for coaching, same thing. I just don't think I see the turnaround, and I see head coaches that are now special teams coordinators. I see guys that are successful that are somewhere coaching. It just does I couldn't go from BC to Edmonton to Montreal to Toronto.
I mean, you're always looking for the next job. Like the job's always a jeopardy. Like you said, Benavides was the next big thing, head coach, and now he's a special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
What's the guy? Who did Hamilton get again? Reinbold. Reinbold is a big thing. Now he jumps from country to country, place to place. And when you have a family and stuff, you got to keep all that stuff in mind, right? You don't want to be an absentee father, a satellite dad. Put all the pressure on your wife to bring the kids, and you're jumping around the country, moving them here, moving them there. It's like military.
It's a commitment, man. It's a commitment. It's not just a personal commitment; it's a whole family commitment, right? That
you know who has the dream job? Kyle Walters.
Oh yeah, perfect.
GM. He just writes his own ticket every year.
What does he have to do? O'Shea does all the work.
Osh.
He's done a great job. Him and Osh and Wade Miller
and Danny Max there too, right?
Yeah,
Danny Max there. Yeah.
They put together a good puzzle there.
Have you seen Wade Miller lately? We saw him at the Grey Cup in Hamilton. Oh. He's a big man. He's a sumo wrestler.
He's obese. He's not big. I can't believe he breathes.
Hey, he's big.
He's a big fella. He's a big fella.
Meat wasn't at the Hamilton Grey Cup 2 years ago, so we went down and Kyle Walters says, come to. Kyle said, come to the Sheridan. We're doing a little party for the Winnipeg and blah blah. So I said, great. So we show up. It's the board of directors. There's like 12 of them with their wives and kids. There's like 27 people in there, and they're all high-end board members. And we walk in with 4 or 5 guys. We start doing some shots, and we're drinking double. And I said, "Is this okay?" So I was just like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. Just stay on this side. Stay on this side."
I'm looking forward.
I remember. Osh used to hate Wade Miller.
Yeah.
Osh hated Wade Miller.
Yeah, he did.
I won't say despise, but they had some fights back and forth.
Oh, they had some battle. First of all, Osh hated everyone at some point in time. Let's face it. And sometimes he hated himself because nobody was harder on himself than Mike. This guy, and nobody worked harder than Mike. honest to God, you couldn't build. If you built a football player, you would build Mike O'Shea. I'm not kidding you. Top to bottom.
We're saying the same thing. I know you've seen the same thing because we're in the same locker room with him. I don't care if it was his knee, his back, or whatever. He is not coming off the field.
Nope.
Special teams. He will do his special teams duty.
Yes.
He will. He didn't take a break off special teams or anything like that. Just he would play every single solitary down that he was supposed to play.
Yep. At a high level.
At 100%. With a torn ACL, MCL, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I mean, he was he had to put them back together every game.
I was out.
Mr. Potato Head.
And Osh picked me up. We were going back to his place or something, and I didn't notice. But as we get out of the car, it took him 6 minutes to get out of the car for his back to actually straighten up. He walked hunched over like Gollum for about 3-4 minutes before he could slowly. I said, "What is wrong with you?" He goes, just a little tightness. I'm like, Jesus, what are you doing? Oh, but led by example, right? There was a few of those guys, because listen, all of us that played are obviously good enough to play professional football. And then there's those guys that are just like, wow, like there's something special. Osh was one of those guys. Pinner was one of those guys. Mook was one of those guys. Just that extra gear, extra something. You were one of those guys. I'm not joking. I don't like to give you compliments. Believe me, it hurts me inside. But you're the guy that came up with a big play all the time, and not just on defense. I mean, your punt kick returns. Big time plays and big time games. I mean, when you played university, was that your game, or did that just evolve over time?
You know what? It evolved over time. I knew what I could do, and there's a lot of, with punt return and kick return, there's a lot of baseball in there, center field, left field. So those things kind of keep easy. But I'm tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you where I gained my confidence. Don Matthews.
Oh, legend.
Don Matthews, I had confidence, but he put me over the top.
Right.
And I will say he's the catalyst of that. And the reason I say that is we had private conversations, and we talked, and we had in 96, 97, we had great teams. Let's go to the 97 team. Let's stick with the 97 team. Mook was there, Jimmy the Jet was there. Like, where am I gonna punt return and kick return when Mookie and Jimmy the Jet are there? Right? Yeah. I was always about Pinner, Mookie, Jimmy the Jet. Who's going to do kick return, right? There's no space for you, even though you're a decent kick returner. And I played punt return in Memphis and Hamilton, blah, blah, blah. But Don Matthews said, "You know what, Pee Wee? I'm always going to have confidence in you. I've seen your game before. I always going to have confidence in you." So The 97 kickoff right before that halftime.
Yep.
Mook scored the touchdown. And he got hurt. He hurt his knee, right? And Matthew says, "Pee Wee, go in." Okay. And so he says, "Get in and just run to the right." So he said, "They're not going to kick it to pinball. They're not going to kick it. They're going to kick it to you. Just run to the right." Ran to the right, got like 50 yards. Then Vanderjagt kicked the field goal right before halftime.
Yep.
Okay. Comes in at halftime. Said, "Pee Wee, you're my man." Said, "We're going to fake the pinball. All these motherfuckers are going to run the pinball. And we're going to be wide open going down the sideline." Sure enough, they kicked it to me, faked the pinball in it. All those motherfuckers ran up there and ran a touchdown. So I'm not, and he said to me, he said, "I had confidence. I knew you could do that, Pee Wee. Even though we have Jimmy the Jet, all these, I knew you could do something like that." And the next year, I went to Buffalo to try out for Buffalo. When I went to try out for Buffalo, right before I left, I called him. I told him, "Hey, I got to try out, blah, blah, blah." Coach Bill Bradley was the defensive coach for Buffalo. So I kind of
like Bill. He was a funny dude.
He was funny, yeah. And Flutie was there also. So he said to me, he said, "Pee Wee, as long as I'm a head coach in the CFL, you will always have a job."
Man, he was.
So that right there was that was monumental for me.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Rob, you didn't get the chance to play under him, and everybody knows if you didn't play for Don, then you have a different perception of Don, because he was crass and he was an asshole and
Sudsy, like Suds.
Outwardly,
like
right?
Suds.
But inside, oh man, that just come to play 3 hours a week. I don't care crap what you do. If you're going to screw around, you weren't on the team. So if you're on the team, that means he liked you. He had utter faith in you. He put you in positions to win. And I've never been coached like that before in my life. It was so contrary to how all football coaches coach. It was totally opposite. It was crazy.
I want to say 3 stories about Don Matthews. First story, 96, 97. I'm sure you witnessed this. We had a good team. Everybody knew we had a good team. We were going to win. It's just about a matter of points. I mean, we're going to win by. He came in a few times each year, 2 or 3 times each year. "Hey, can you motherfuckers guarantee me a win this week?"
Yep.
"Yeah, coach." "All right, no practice. Get out of here." But nobody left.
Nope.
Everybody did their film study. Everybody went to the weight room except me. Everybody played ping pong. They played ping pong in the locker room. We all. I think it was more of a test to see who was going to leave, but nobody left. Everybody did their therapy, their this, their that. Everybody was there for 2-3 hours regardless.
Yep.
Right? That's how the confidence that he had in us, that he knew what kind of team he had. Story number 2, you talked about he's crass, he's an asshole, he's a jerk. I remember Andrew Stewart, the playoff game. Big Stu. Came in late for the playoff game. Well, Coach Matthews, he didn't say anything. He walked in the locker room. He looked over. He saw Andrew Stewart getting dressed, and everybody else is already dressed. He's like, "Andrew Stewart, you better have the game of your life. Because if you don't, you're cut." And just keep walking. Just keep walking. Like, he just said it like in passing. He didn't break stride.
Nope.
Andrew Stewart had the game of his life.
Because he knew.
The playoff had the game of his life. Coach Matthews comes back to the locker room. "Andrew Stewart, congratulations. You just saved your job." The last story is a rookie guy that came in. We signed him the day of, 3 days before. He's doing special teams, blah, blah, blah. This dude got 2 personal foul calls, back-to-back punt returns or punts or whatever. He pulled him over and said, "Hey, son, enjoy this because this is your last game."
He still wanted to get stuff out of him. He kept him around till the end of the game. He did the same thing to Dan Murphy. Remember our road trip? We can't forget our road trip to Red Deer. But Dan Murphy, we were playing Calgary the week before. We were playing Edmonton, and Dan used to play in Edmonton, so he thought it'd be fun, like as we're staying midweek, to go visit his buddies in Edmonton. So Don found out and said, "That's great. Just stay there." And he was cut. He never came back. We never saw him again. That little trip down the road was it. You're gone, bud. And that's the way it was.
We that's good. We had a couple similar stories there, Adrian, with Lancaster. The difference was when Matthew said there's no practice for you guys, and you guys went to the weight room, watch your film. When Lancaster said there was no practice,
we went to the beer room.
We got the rookies. We got the beer room. We got the beer. And we got the rookies to go buy 5 cases. We'd sit at Brian Timmons there and sit. But we had 32 guys have some beers and then went home and we won the cup in '99, right? So
yeah, we were very fortunate that we're all friends. We didn't. Adrian, you and I got to spend a lot of years together. You were 1 year with Hitch. But the respect that we had across, down the highway from any team, anybody in the league, there was a lot of mutual respect. From a fan's perspective, some of them are probably going, I ain't watching this because I don't want to hear about an Argo, and they're still pissed that I went to the Argos, and whatever. That's what the fandom is. That's great. That's what the league should be. But the respect that we had for you and all the other guys, and I know it came back in reverse. Because we were all doing the same thing, man. We were all just having a good time, trying to be better than what we were the day before.
Yeah.
Was there? You're right, man. It all puts things into perspective. Was there one more question for you? Was there? So when I watch you play, I watched another corner way back in the day who's got like 87 picks, Les Brown. So. I don't know, when you came up here, did you have someone, like, I know you didn't know anything about it, but once you came up here, did you look at old film and did you see any guys, did you ask and did you look up the rosters and see who's got this many picks? Because you had a similar style to him. You're cover 3, you just kind of sit back and just coast. You coast, but it's here, right? It's like a safety, it's mental.
You know what? I didn't know anybody when I first got here. But Les Brown's name came up very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And like I said, then you got to watch him. There's another guy in BC that played next to him too.
Wasn't Eric Carter at that time, wasn't? EC was after him.
No.
EC was me.
Yeah.
EC was me. It was the older guy. Another guy that had a lot of picks with him, a halfback, had a lot of picks with him too.
I know you mean.
Yeah.
But Les came to the picture. His name started rotating around here from day one.
Yeah.
So I did watch him. I'm not gonna say I patterned my game off him, but I knew he had a lot of picks. I knew that he was a guy that people would stay away from.
Yeah.
Well, listen, today went by fast, man. We got a couple minutes here. We got to wrap up. Unlike Rob, I got a job to do, so we got to get that started and pay the bills. So, but Adrian, man, you're a hell of a teammate, hell of a player. Repeated All-Star, Grey Cup champion, and a good dude, man. I consider you a great friend. It doesn't matter if we haven't spoken, how many years we haven't spoken. That don't matter.
Just pick up where you left off.
Just pick up where you left off, and not a good place most of the time.
And it wasn't in the gym. Right? It wasn't in the gym.
I didn't glad we didn't pick up the filthy McNasty.
Oh yes, I'm not sure that would be a good place for me nowadays. But just listen. Hold off at the end. Don't hang up yet. We're going to say our goodbyes, and then we'll wrap this up with Butko. But from David Butko, from Rob Hitchcock, from Adrion Smith, and myself, Mike Morreale. This is the Ticats Audio Network, and you're listening to the Morreale and Hitch podcast. We'll see you again soon.
That's another episode of Morreale and Hitch on the Ticats Audio Network. Have a question or a comment for them? Email us at mnh@ticats.ca. That's MANDH@ticats.ca.